And now the main event of the evening, and what a great main event it is. We've got two guys that are pretty young for the heavyweight division. You know, you've got Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. Curtis Blaydes, you know, was once looked at as potentially the future of the heavyweight division when he was a lot younger and coming up. And Tom Aspinall is what I would say is probably looked at now as the future of the heavyweight division because he's young and coming up. So it's two guys that are somewhat young for the heavyweight division clashing at the top of the rankings, which is awesome. I think Tom Aspinall does get it done, by the way. But one thing I'm going to bring up is this is Curtis Blaydes' first time being an underdog in his entire UFC career. He was a favorite over all of these opponents that he was fighting, including over him. He was a favourite to beat Ngannou the first time. He was a favourite to beat Ngannou the second time. You know what I mean? Like, let's have a look here. He was the favourite to beat Overeem. He was the favourite to beat Ngannou, and he was the favourite to beat Ngannou the first time as well. So he was the favourite to beat all of these guys. He was a big favourite over Derek Lewis. He was the favourite over Rosenstrike, favourite over Dalkaus. You know, like, yeah, anyway, the point is, this is Curtis Blaydes' first time being an underdog in his whole UFC career, which is so crazy to think about, if you do think about it. But, yeah, Tom Aspinall's just that special of a prospect, man. Like, you watch the fight against Volkov. He's so fast on the feet with his boxing, you know, and he finished Sergey Spivak in the first round. He submitted Andrei Arlovsky in the second round, like, destroyed Jake Collier and Alan Badeau, like, you don't really see anyone else doing what he's doing right now in the heavyweight division, and this is something so crazy to me, man, that Tom Aspinall's just doing something special, man. He really is a special prospect at 29 years old in the heavyweight division, taking on Curtis Blaydes, who is still somewhat a special prospect, but you watch him on the feet against Chris Dalkaus, like, what would Tom Aspinall do to Chris Dalkaus on the feet? He would probably finish him within 2 minutes, you know, like, Tom Aspinall on the feet is something so special, and everyone keeps going on about his jiu-jitsu black belt, and his jiu-jitsu this, jiu-jitsu that. I don't really want to hear any of that, to be honest, because I think Tom Aspinall's going to box up Curtis Blaydes. I don't really know if we're going to see a takedown out of Aspinall, but maybe that could be a pretty smart game plan, because Curtis Blaydes, you know, when you're such a dominant wrestler and you're always on top, maybe you're not used to getting put on bottom, you know. So maybe Tom Aspinall could do something there. Maybe we could see his jiu-jitsu black belt that everyone seems to want to bring up. But yeah, man, I'm just more concerned about how good Tom Aspinall's boxing is, how fast he is on the feet, just how good he is in general. You know what I mean? But yeah, Curtis Blaydes, he's a special prospect as well. Like, he's got really good wrestling. He does have a path to victory over Tom Aspinall, like a ground and pound KO or a decision. But I don't see him knocking out Tom Aspinall on the feet, in my opinion. I know he's got the power, but he's not fast. He's not fast like Tom Aspinall is. You know, Tom Aspinall is so fast just in general. It's incredible. Like, he's so fast for a heavyweight. I think he's going to be too fast for Curtis Blaydes to knock out on the feet. I think he's going to potentially look for a takedown as well, but I think we're going to see a finish for Aspinall early on, like in the first or the second round. Like, how many times do I have to say it, man? Aspinall's a special prospect, and I really do like the look of him moving forward, but yeah, maybe after this, maybe he calls out. I know he's already got a fight booked, but maybe he calls out Tai Tuivasa. I think Tom Aspinall versus Tai Tuivasa is a very winnable matchup for Aspinall and would be a star-making performance. A win over Curtis Blaydes would potentially be a star-making performance. I think he's already had it, though, with the Volkov fight, headlining UFC London last time, but he's headlining him again against Curtis Blaydes, who was a really good fighter. But I think like Tom Aspinall versus Tuivasa would be something special, you know what I mean? But Tuivasa's got a fight booked in France. What do you even do with Aspinall now? Because all of the top guys are booked against each other. Garn is booked with Tuivasa. Tom Aspinall is not going to want to wait for them to fight and then recover and then do a training camp. So, yeah, who was there to give Aspinall after this? Yeah, crazy. I'm trying to think, actually, but there's not really any options. Yeah, give me Aspinall. I think he's going to win, man. I think he's going to beat Curtis Blaydes. I think he's going to win by KO. I'm pretty confident in it, too. Like, a lot of people, like, people that got Aspinall at plus money, that's greasy. It's a greasy bet. You know what I mean? I like Aspinall. I do believe he's going to win. I do see people picking Blaydes. I can't agree with it, dude. I mean, I can agree with it, like I can understand, but it's just not my pick. You know, I believe Aspinall is going to win. This one here, I mean, he's really only lost one fight. Like one of his losses is to a no contest, but I know that Aspinall talked about this no contest, whereas at this one here, yeah, over at Bama, he talked about this, and this was not an illegal 12-6 elbow. He was talking about it, but he did lose to Stuart Austin, who's not looking great now, but at one point, you know, he was a good fighter at one point, you know, like he's just a punching bag for PFL now, like he just gets KO'd all the time. I kind of feel bad for Stuart Austin, but yeah, we're getting sidetracked, man. But yeah, let's move on. That's the end of the video. Actually, that's me moving on. So I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, really looking forward to this card. Starts at 4 a.m. I will see you guys. I'm not going to be live streaming because I do have work that day, but I'm really excited and looking forward to getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'll probably wake up at 4:30 because they mess around like for a very long time before the fights actually start. So I think I'll get up at 4:30 and watch the fights from there. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Really can't wait for it. It's going to be Dana White's Contender Series. So I'll see you then.